Well, hello, everybody. Hi, David.
Hello, hi Lisa. Are you excited?
I am. I'm very excited. How about you?
I've been looking forward to it all day.
Yeah, I am ready here. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Lisa. I'm the elementary director at Community Christian Church and the ArtBeat director for our production of ArtBeat each summer. And
And
with
I
me
am,
here,
yeah, I'm David Roy. I'm the vocal music teacher at Perry Hall Middle School, one of them, and I have been leading the performance beat of ArtBeat since I guess I don't know since the second one, and I was involved in all 10.
yep, yep. We're going to talk about that in a minute, that it is ArtBeat's 10th year, which is pretty cool. But before we do that, for those of you who are just jumping on, go ahead and tell us what grade your camper is in and this year, currently, and maybe what beat they're hoping to be a part of. We'd love to hear a little bit from you. So jump in the chat and start interacting there. If you are just tuning in and maybe this is your first time with ArtBeat, ArtBeat is CCC's performing arts camp for kids in currently in third through eighth grade. So we love to do this each year. As David mentioned, it is 10 years of ArtBeat. This is our 10th year. It wasn't all in a row, right, David? We had a little break in
There
there.
was the break for COVID, unfortunately, but we've come back strong.
That's right. And we just thought we'd take a little bit of time here while people are logging on and getting ready to just kind of run through and have a little reminisce about the 10 years of ArtBeat. So we started this thing back in 2014, and the first show we ever did was, do you remember it?
Frog
I'm
and
sure you do.
Toad, the kids version.
Yes, it was the elementary version, not the junior, and we did Frog and Toad. There was some we've come, I don't want to say we've come a long way because this was wonderful and fantastic. We did a good job. It was wonderful. The kids were awesome, the volunteers as always, but we've learned a lot. That's how I'll say it. And we've grown in our production and abilities in all things. But these are some fun pictures to look at from Frog and Toad back in the day. What was the second show? I always get this. Oh, I do remember now. Yeah, I always forget.
It
I'm going through.
was Aladdin. Am I right?
Yes, I loved Aladdin.
Uh,
That was our first Disney production, so that was really fun. We got to go to Agrabah, as you can see, and some of the sets there. That was a fun. People are probably wondering, what is this a photo of? You'll see in the next slide, I think. We'll see what that turned into. The big elephant that our Aladdin rode in on, right?
and
David?
it went pretty much from floor to ceiling. He's gigantic. He was huge.
Yep. Yep. And I think if I remember correctly, each year in ArtBeat, when there's a special character like that, they name them. And his was Humphrey, if I remember correctly. The
Through the
set
elephant.
design
That's right.
named him Humphrey. Those were for some fun times. Now, this is where I get lost in the what's next. I can never remember. I have two guesses. What do you remember? What was our third one?
I believe it was Seussical.
Let's see. Is that right? Yeah, you were right. All right. Seussical was this crazy show that is, the mind of Dr. Seuss, as we've talked about. It's a little bit unique of a show,
Most
but
people, most people tell me they have to see it more than once to really understand exactly how it flows because it jumps around from character to character. But it is a lot of fun.
it is. And I loved that piece right there. The Horton is in the nest with the big egg. And, I love that. That was a fun set design piece that they got to make. So, okay. After Seussical was, I think I know, was it? Oh,
Ooh, you may
no.
have to say this one.
I'm going to guess Willy Wonka.
Was it? It
Right?
was Willy Wonka. Okay,
Okay.
very good.
I had another guest in mind, and I'm glad I went with Willy Wonka. But yeah, this was the one where the set, all the pieces spun, and we were in the factory and out of it. And,
That's right.
um, yeah, those good times.
Oh,
Oh, tell me
and
about that.
the flashlights. This picture doesn't necessarily do it justice because it was in the dark and we illuminated Willy Wonka with the flashlights and they created like a W shape at the end. It was a really cool moment.
That was. I love that. And then this was our first kind of, maybe in Aladdin we did some puppetry work with the carpet, the magic carpet, but this was also another piece of sort of puppetry. The kids got to
Yeah.
do that and become a spider, I guess, right? If
Yeah,
I remember
they were scaring them when they're on the boat. They were
correctly.
all the pieces came together to create the scary spider.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so then Willy Wonka, and then the next one was, I guessed
Maybe it was,
last time.
it's Shrek,
I think you're
right?
right.
Yes.
Yep,
Yep.
Shrek it is. And that was a fun show to do. This was a photo op in the lobby. That was really fun with the swamp. And then that backdrop was a really cool swamp as well with just lots of different props there. Oh, this was the
The
dragon.
dragon.
Yeah,
Now,
I think
I don't remember the dragon's name.
I don't either. I bet if you were part of this art beat and you know the dragon's name, put it in the chat for us because
Those kids in
I,
Design Beat for sure would remember the dragon's
yeah,
name if they're still with us.
so,
'Cause that was a while ago.
yeah. And this was that was a great piece that I, the princesses were on that, right? The different
Yeah, that was
Fionas.
like the tower for Fiona, yeah.
Yep,
She grows up
beautiful.
in the song from the youngest Fiona to the adult Fiona throughout the
I feel
song.
like
It was pretty
yeah, I
cool.
feel like that looks kind of small there. It was really big. It was tall because I stood on it. It was high, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly. It was
it
fun.
was.
But okay, after Shrek was I
Let
think
me think. I think it was The Little Mermaid.
was it Little
Not
Mermaid
too
or was
sure.
it Lion King?
Might have been. Oh, it was The Lion King. Got that
Yep,
one wrong.
Lion I love The Lion King, one of my favorite Disney movies, but this was so much fun to create Pride Rock. I think there's a picture of how it was actually used. Kids stood on top of it. Yep, that's pretty awesome. And again, more like costumes were, oh, yeah, we got to play with face paint or makeup, I guess is what I should say.
Yeah.
That was, didn't usually do that. And so there's our Rafiki. Lots of fun. Lots of fun moments in Lion King creating all
Some
the
great
different animals.
costumes. Some really great
Mhm.
costumes.
Yep, loved it. And then after Lion King, I think that's when we had our little hiatus, but we came back strong with
That's right. The Little Mermaid.
it.
I guessed wrong
So
on the last one,
it's okay. But I know
but
you have a favorite moment from this show. Tell me about it.
well,
Tell
it took a
me
lot of
about
work for us all, but with the moment that you go underwater, we just lit the entire room up with the water lights, and it was just really cool. Like even the audience on that opening night, the gasp of it,
Yep.
it was just a really cool moment to see the jellyfish lit up over your head and all the waterworks all around you. It was cool.
Yeah. I do remember that gasp. It was pretty cool. And
Mhm.
that I love the way we use the screen in the back and we're able to change the scenery that way too. To be underwater was fun. So
Yeah.
then Little Mermaid led into the next show was
Uh, I believe it was Frozen,
yep,
right?
I think yep, it sure
Yes.
was.
All right, now
And
we're
that
getting
was
current.
yeah, we're getting really close. Frozen, where we had all the different Elsa and Annas, three different age groups of Elsa and Annas. And this was a moment for me, a favorite Artbeat moment when Elsa is in this costume, but she goes behind those doors and comes out in this costume. And that's her
Right.
big letting go moment where she busts through the doors. That was another gasp where the audience kind of like just cheered
No,
and
it was
think,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah. So and then after Frozen was our most recent, which was last
Last
year's
year.
production of Annie, which was really fun. And Annie was our first time doing a period piece. It wasn't all imagination, it was actual concrete, settings and
Yeah,
costumes
we
and
were
things
we
like
were in New York City.
yep, in the 1930s. So that was a lot of fun. I loved doing Annie. It was my favorite Broadway show that I saw as a kid. But anyway, good times. 10 years of Art Beat. I hope we've got some viewers here talking in the chat and showing us who they are and what they're hoping to do this year, which is really exciting. But just a few details before we get to what you all came here for tonight. Art Beat Week this year is July 13th through 19th. It's a little later than usual because of where 4th of July falls, but make sure you mark your calendars. Registration opens March 9th at 1 p.m. And I just need to tell you, there are several beats that sell out very quickly. So I would set an alarm on March 9th for 1 p.m. so you don't forget. But okay, so we have an idea here, right, David, about how, well, before we do that, I just realized we wanted to talk a little bit about what Artbeat is. If you've just signed on and maybe this is new to you, you did see the 10 years, but what do you think is something that you love about Artbeat,
I
David?
just I, I just love that week because everyone is putting all of their creative juices, their talents all come together, and it just you start with nothing and you end with this just amazing production, and it all happens within 1 week. It's some sort of magic, and it's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Yep, and it's not the performance is obviously we're all working really hard towards that, but there's so many other aspects of the camp that are fun and just getting to know friends and just have so much fun together throughout the week. And we've got, over 50 volunteers that come together to make it all happen. So it's a wonderful experience. Now, if you are new to ArtBeat, you should know that David runs our performance. He's the director of our performance beat, which is all the people that are on stage, right? They are the ones that are performing. They're singing, dancing, acting. Yes. And we've
Of
got
course.
some photos here that you can talk to us about a little bit if you remember some of them.
Yep. So
Those
we
moments.
we take always a large cast of kids. We use all these giant spaces that we have in the building for rehearsals, and you know, it's kind of this marathon of let's get started, and the kids are dancing and singing, and it's pretty much nonstop rehearsal all the way through to the end when we run the show through. Get their costumes. It's a blast.
Yep, it's pretty amazing. Now, some of you might say, but I don't really like to sing or dance, and I'm not an actor or whatever, and that's okay. That's the beauty of ArtBeat. It's such a unique camp because there's four other beats that come together because a production doesn't just happen with actors. There's a lot of behind the scenes. And so we have four different beats. One of them is media beat. And I always find this to be so unique. Most live productions don't have a lot of media aspects outside of tech and lighting and that sort of thing. But we do some really cool things with stop motion. Kids have the opportunity, some children will have the opportunity, or students will have the opportunity to be behind the scenes running some of the tech. We do headshots for every camper. So the media beat takes those photos. They do some cool videos and all sorts of really unique things. I keep using that word for media. So last year we did newspapers, if I remember. We don't have newspapers anymore that are live, and we did live ones. And there's some stop motion being filmed with iPads and oh yeah, programs. They design the program covers for each show. So media beat's a really fun beat. If you're not an actor and you want to be behind the scenes, that's a good one. We've also got set design, which is if I were to choose a beat, if I were a camper, I probably would be in set design. I just love the way the sets come together, but they don't just do sets, right? They do stuff. Um, this is one of our big monsters or something being created in set design. So it's not just the backdrops, it's all sorts of unique, there's my favorite word again, things that get to be created for the lobby and for the main stage. So I love set design.
They, there are always many projects for them to deal with. One is always covering up the drum cage that we have, or finding some amazing or interesting use for it.
Yep, we
But,
saw that in
the big,
practice in Little
the
Mermaid,
big
and
props, and a lot of times even the Design Beat kids, some of the stuff that they make, they use it for us as part of the show. So they'll be hidden underneath of the elephant manning it, or making
right,
the snow monster come to life and running it across the stage. So in a way, they get to be on stage sometimes too.
yeah, it's true. That's really true. I love it. And then we've got costume and props beat, and that's always costumes. It's fun to costume things like this, obviously, where you get to costume a creature. But last year was a challenge a little bit to costume more of like, okay, we need to costume people for the 1930s. But either way, the creativity it abounds. You can just see that through all of these different photos. And then the props, oh yeah, the jellyfish, those were made by costume and props, right?
For sure. Yep.
That was fun.
They always have racks full of costumes that they make, with how many
Mhm.
kids are in the show, many times they have two, three, four costumes. So
Oh yeah, that's
they
true. They will make a lot of different costumes.
for sure.
That was a fun, and I love how they think beyond just your typical, like we saw Sven in that picture, it's a unique way to make him look
Yeah.
like a deer, whatever it was. Oh, and then of course there's Junior Beat. Junior Beat is our beat for students currently in third grade, and that's a fun beat because what do they get to do, David? They get to do a lot of
Well,
things.
it's their first year being able to be an art beat, so they get to do a little bit of everything. They'll be part of performance, media, design, costume, and props, and so they get a little taste of each one, so that as they move forward into fourth grade, fifth grade, then they can decide which one they want to do. So they'll make their own costume. They'll have a number in the show that they get to perform with.
Mhm.
They basically take days and visits through all of the different beats.
Yep.
Get to try it all.
Yeah. And I love that they're into one number, they kind of create things for it. So they create their costumes for that number, and it's all kind of centered around that, which is really special for that group. So for that beat. So, okay, well, I think now we've had a pretty good idea of what ArtBeat is and when it's happening this year and when registration is happening. So it might be time to get to our reveal. And last year, do you remember, David, we played a game to reveal the show, Annie, and we did, I think it was like this or that or something like that.
Yeah, we did. We did a game of this or that. So that was so much fun that we thought about like, well, what game could we play this year to lead up to the reveal to make it as exciting as possible?
Yep. And so we're going to play 20 questions. Now we're going to say 20-ish questions because we probably won't need 20 to get to the answer.
Probably not.
Yeah, but maybe we will. We'll see. But basically, what we want you guys to do is put questions in the chat, and some of those questions will be chosen and displayed on the screen, and David and I will answer. Here are some of the rules. The question has to be answered. We have to be able to say either yes or no. That's it. And you cannot ask, is the show blank, and give us the title of the show. Okay. You have to ask things that are going to give hints towards what the show might be. Okay. So
Exactly.
go
And then
ahead.
if you
Yeah.
think you know the show, don't just blurt out something in the comments. Just wait, because you know how 20 questions work. You get the answers to your questions, and then everyone tries to guess at the end. So hold back. You
Right.
don't want to give anyone else your chance to know if you get it first.
Yeah. So hopefully you're putting some questions in the chat right now because that's how we're going to reveal the show. So you got to think about it.
And you know, normally when you play 20 questions, the first thing is always, is it a person, place, or thing? Oh, well, we can skip that one because we
Yeah.
obviously know it is a musical.
Oh, this is a good question. Is there magic in the show?
Is there magic in the show? I'm gonna have to say no.
Mm-mm.
No magic, right?
No
Okay, so
magic.
that's a no.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it a princess? Nope.
No
There's
princess. Oh, that's a good question. That narrows some down. Okay.
Mhm.
All
This is
right.
fun.
Not a princess. I
It's
wonder how
not a
many of the
prince.
shows that we've done that had a princess in there. There's always a lot of princesses in
Yeah,
some of these
because
musicals. It's true.
princess. Um,
Hmm.
Frozen obviously has some princesses. Even
Yeah, we've
Shrek.
done shows with princesses. It's true.
Aladdin has a princess. So yeah, a lot of Disney shows have princesses. But
True.
um, are there animals in the show? I'm gonna
There
let you
are.
take. There
There
are.
are animals in the show. Animals are in the show. No one's counting the questions. Is this three? This is three.
Yeah, three. So there's animals, no princess, and no magic.
Is the
Is the
main
main character?
character a girl?
That's a great question.
Hmm.
I feel like
Uh, maybe. Is that a possible answer?
yes or no, right? I
Uh,
feel like I want to say the main character is not a girl,
yeah, I guess if we have to say yes or no, we would say no.
right? Okay.
Is
Is there
there?
a movie made out of it? Yes.
There is. Yes, that's a yes. Yep.
Yeah. I think maybe we're narrowing it down a little bit. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like we're probably getting close.
Is it a period piece like last year's Annie was a period piece? It is not a period piece. No.
No, no, it is not. Not this time.
We might be getting close. I'm wondering if anybody has it yet, but maybe not. Maybe we need a few more.
Can't guess yet. It's still just giving clues right now.
Yeah,
Th-
on
this one
dogs.
might be leading. They had a guess.
Yeah.
There's not 101 dogs.
Nope.
Oh, is it based on a book?
I don't believe it is.
No,
No.
that's a no.
is the main character an animal?
Oh, that's a good question. And that is a yes.
Yes.
We're getting close. Maybe two more, and then we'll
Then
see
we'll
where
get,
we land here. Is it
is it
animated?
animated?
Well,
Great.
we're going to have live students on the stage, but originally it was animated. Yes.
Yes. Is
Last
it
question. What do
Disney?
you think?
I
It's
think so.
Disney.
Oh, yes, it is
Okay,
Disney.
it is Disney. So now's your chance to put your guess in the chat. We'll see who ends up getting it, right? Because I think we've had enough questions. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
agree, Lisa?
it's given. Yeah, I think we've definitely got some good things. I'm interested to see what people start to guess um, as they are thinking about it. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we, while we're waiting for the guesses to come in, if there's another couple of questions that we look at, that'd be fine too. So, um, is it set in America? Oh, that is a great question.
Hmm.
No,
I don't think so. No.
it's not.
No.
That's a really good question. I wonder if that helps here. I see some guesses. I'm seeing,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like they're probably ready for us to go ahead
yeah,
and make this reveal, right, Lisa?
I think you're right. As a matter of fact, I know I need to get going. I have dinner cooking. It's Taco Tuesday, and I've got fish tacos on the menu, so I got to get moving here.
Did you say fish tacos? Lisa,
I did.
fish are friends, not food.
All right. If you haven't guessed it yet, David just gave you another clue, and I think it's time. The sun is shining, the tank is clean, and we are getting ready to reveal the show. Can you remind me what it is again one more time? Because I suffer from short-term memory loss.
Okay, Lisa, I'll handle it. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's ArtBeat campers will be called to the summit of Mount Wanahakalugi to create a performance of, drum roll please, wait for it, wait for it, Disney's Finding Nemo Jr.
I'm so excited about this. I know for me, Annie has been my favorite Broadway show, but Finding Nemo is by far my favorite Disney Pixar. And I have been quoting lines since we determined this would be the show. I've been quoting and sending David texts with funny lines from Finding Nemo. So I hope you guys will be as excited as we are. A couple of fun facts about Finding Nemo. It is an animated movie, but it is not a Broadway production. There's no production of Finding Nemo on Broadway. It's actually a musical that was created for Animal Kingdom in Disney World. So that's pretty unique. And there's a whole soundtrack that they've created for it because the original movie doesn't have a lot of music, does it? I mean, there's maybe the
No.
one song that we.
And I've never seen that at Animal Kingdom. My question is, because my favorite from the show is probably the seagulls, the mine. Are they in that? Have you seen them? The one in Animal Kingdom?
I have seen it, and I don't remember the seagulls that much. I have seen it. I have a daughter that lives in Orlando. I might have to make a trip and go see it again as we prepare. But yeah, I don't remember the seagulls. But we might, we can add our. We'll probably have seagulls. Is my guess.
Mine,
In our,
mine.
yep. My favorite moments in Finding Nemo overall is the starfish. I think her name is Deb, and she's constantly talking about her sister Flo. And then she says stuff like, "Don't listen to anything she says. She's nuts." But really, Flo is her reflection. So half the time she's like, "I can't see Flo. You're in my way." And that's a favorite
Being
thing
stuck
from.
in a tank does something to your mind, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We talked a little bit about this through the beats, with costuming, especially when you're costuming for people, it's great and you can be creative, but when you're costuming for creatures, underwater creatures, it's a whole another level of creativity I think that we get to tap into. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll probably do some really cool media beat things. Maybe the EAC in Australia, the current with the turtles, the sea turtles, and I don't know. We haven't planned yet, but those are some things off the top of my
There are
head.
many ideas in the works, that is for sure.
For sure. So very, very exciting. I'm wondering if I'm forgetting anything, David, here before we get ready to sign off. I'll just remind everybody of our dates.
Yep.
Our
The
uh,
dates, that way if somebody joined late, especially the registration date.
Yes, so ArtBeat is happening July 13th through 19th. Again, that's a week later than it usually is, and registration is March 9th. It starts at 1 p.m. And so you're going to want to set an alarm because, like I said, it goes fast. We are very, very excited about this year's production of Finding Nemo. We can't wait to see you all in July. And yeah, have
Can't wait.
fun.
We'll,
We'll see you then.
we'll see you then. Bye bye.
Technique. Good afternoon. We're gonna have a great jump today.